1971's A Bay of Blood, also known by a bunch of other different names that I didn't write down. The murder of a wealthy countess, which was erroneously deemed suicide, triggers a chain reaction of brutal killings in the surrounding Bay Area, as several unscrupulous characters tried to take over her large estate. Directed by Mario Bava, who did Black Sunday, The Evil Eye, Black Sabbath, and many, many more. Written by Mario Bava, Giuseppe Zaccarillo, and Filippo Ottani. Every time, man. Every time. Jason, I know you got some information on this.
Well, so listen, I don't know if this is legit, but this is what I found. Tagline: the second movie rated V for violence. Distributed by Nuova Linee Cinematografica.
Hey.
This was out on Blu-ray through Arrow, early 2000s. It's long out of print, but recently done by Kino. That's the copy I have. I think it looks great, so I recommend it. It's only like $17 on Amazon.
There you go. All right, Lisa, what do you think?
Okay. Oh my God, Bay of Blood. Okay, so where do I start? So first off, huge fan of the Italians. Okay, so Dario Argento, just all of them. Okay, so this one to me is iconic because, I mean, let's be real. Friday the 13th stole so much from it, right? I mean, okay, we have it all. We've got hot Italian girls. We have a plethora of crazy characters that come at all angles. We have the story of the girl inheriting the, creepy place. We've got amazing kills. This movie to me has it all. It's iconic. It's legendary. I absolutely love it from start to finish. It's one of my favorites. If it is on, I will sit and watch it. Even though it does drag at times, I appreciate it each and every time. I love it to death. I love the parallels. I love, especially if I've watched it right after I've seen, let's say, Friday the 13th, and I can draw the parallels between the scenes, like the Kevin Bacon scene. I love that anyone who has sex in it gets killed. I love that they have idiot girls that are skinny dipping. I love the camera angles, that it's almost from the murderer's perspective at times. I love that it creeps along. From the first kill with the old lady in the wheelchair, to me, it just grabs you. I love it. You have this eerie scene where she's like hanging and gurgling, and it's like so terrible. And you have it from the killer's perspective, and you think you know who the killer is, but you don't. I love it. To me, you cannot say enough great things about this movie. It's one of my favorites, and if it's on, I'll watch it. It's like Goodfellas, Casino, all those great ones. To me, this one is up there. I love it. And for me, also,
that's so cool.
Amazing. I love all his work. I really do. I really do. I'm a fan of the Italians. What can I say? I love it.
So what'd you give it?
Sounds like a thing to me. Oh, no.
Awesome.
She cliffhangered us. What? Tune in next week.
She said what she needed to say, and she's out.
Yeah, she's like,
Done with people.
Yeah,
that was good.
How can you beat that? Dave, I should have told you. She was on TV. Like, she was a news girl. So it's like it's like boom.
Yeah, we're just some friggin' schmucks. Like,
she has her notes in her head. I have to write all my thoughts.
I was just like, yeah.
And I have to.
Well, hopefully
I'm just here to hang out and talk.
And sometimes I can't
right.
Hopefully she comes back, but we'll continue on. She said what she needed to say.
Yeah, she said it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm out.
We'll get her rating later, I guess.
And we're done.
The first thing that hits me about this movie is the music. It's like the 70s style, beautiful compositions. The
every Italian movie, man, like their music is on point.
It's important. It's important to make it feel right.
Huge part.
Their music is definitely
the composer is Stelvio Cipriani. He also did music for Nightmare City, Piranha 2, The Spawning, and over 200 other movies, exploitation.
I can't believe how many Italian films are influenced by our conventional conventional horror films. Like, it's unbelievable how much DNA this movie has. what we have for the next 20 years of filmmaking, of horror
I mean,
filmmaking.
this guy's worked in everything. His
Mhm.
music was used in Death Proof, Red Dead Revolver. He
Ah,
even
it's
has some of that stuff.
fantastic.
And after watching this, I'm not really that familiar with giallo stuff, but I think I really like it, and unexpectedly, because normally I don't like slow kind of
I told you, man. It's
stuff like that. But
it's taken over.
it's like vibe and tone. It's all about vibe and tone. I don't know if they still
And
make.
music.
Do they still make movies like this? I don't. Do the Italians?
No, they
or
don't. No,
No,
it's
their
too
film
fast paced.
industry is
No.
But I don't think there's any way to touch these movies. Like a movie of this caliber is really, you can't remake this kind of feel or vibe or anything. It's, you just can't
Or at
replicate
least
it.
you can't watch it in the theater. It would be maybe a streaming film, but like there is so much Italian DNA in modern horror movies that are that are just there.
yeah.
I just think that, like, especially this movie, every frame is artfully conceived. Like they frame it and shoot it with skill. It's really it's beautiful. And this is actually my first Mario Bava film. I know should have seen all those old ones I mentioned, but they just never really appealed to me. So now I want to go back and check those things out. I don't know
This
if
is my first one as well.
you know, I don't know if Black Sunday is any good, or Black Sabbath, whatever.
It's
But
cool.
they're probably really old, and you got to take them for what they are. But I love so many things about this movie, especially, but not limited to, the manic bongos that play when the chase is happening. One
That's what I'm
dude's
saying, man.
one dude's got this
gets ya.
weird sort of mullet thing that I liked.
Yeah.
There's this late night Italian dance party that is really funny. They've got, like, I
Uh-huh.
love seeing stuff from the 70s that doesn't make sense to me. Like they
Mhm.
have a record player, but also that record player can hold like 6 bottles of wine like around it. And it's like, why did that furniture exist for this, for these
Yes.
sexy late night Italian parties?
Make sexy time party. Yeah.
The effects work is so good in this movie,
It's an
especially
Italian party.
for as early as this was. The effects are fantastic. And my favorite thing is, I love it when they unveil a corpse and there's like a snake on it, or a spider, or whatever. There's a fucking octopus
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And it looks disgusting.
It
They're
looked
disgusting.
awesome.
For what
Well, this is
reason?
also a callback too, because
It was
it's-
squid.
it's-
It was the squid
Yeah.
guy. Simon was squid fishing. Don't you remember him just taking a bite out of a
But and
damn
also,
squid?
her father died, and he revealed it,
Oh, that's true.
and
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
just disgusting.
Just
yeah.
still very strange. He didn't
And then
knock
he
the
just threw
octopus
it
off.
into the bay.
Yeah.
You just
Uh,
killed it.
But the movie does kind of lose me a little bit at the end. There's like this extended 70s style knife tussle and a twist involving 2 kids that I never remember seeing in the rest of the movie. Do you guys remember those kids? I don't remember there being kids at all. So
Yeah,
and
I believe they were.
Yeah.
I believe they were only seen a little bit. Like, don't you remember they broke a clown head thing? Just don't you remember like a tree? No,
It was
went
just
right-
them in the RV.
It was a smash cut. Yeah, it was a smash cut of them breaking some ceramic clown head and cleaning it up and stuff
Wow.
like that.
Okay, well, I missed that shit. I was gonna give this thing a 10, but they didn't quite land the plane for me at the end, so I'll give it an 8. It works for me.
Yeah. So between yours and her review, you guys I agree with both of you. Italian slasher, and this is what I was saying at the beginning of the show. This is one of the forefathers, the grandfathers of
okay.
the subgenre of the slashers. Like Dave was saying, yes, in modern horror, American horror, there is, but specifically the slasher genre. And there's just the score again. There's no mistaking the Italian music. They nailed it as they always do. The first 2 acts are kind of slow. really takes its time with the characters in this, introducing everybody, and there's kind of a lot going on, so that kind of slows down the pace a little bit too, I think. But the third act is where it shines for me. You get good kills, one of the best beheadings that I can think of. I mean, I haven't seen a live beheading, but that quick shot, like you can see the spine, you can see the inner work. You don't really get that angle, I guess, a whole lot. You just see the blood squirting up from the neck. Good effects, especially for 1971. That elevates it, I believe. I like the settings. I like the indoor, the interior, and the outdoor scenes. And some of the interior shots almost had like a Hammer production vibe to it. So at times I felt like I was watching a Hammer slasher, which was great. And then right from the get-go, you have, well, the first 5 minutes you get the first kill of the movie, but then they have the black gloves like in a Giallo movie. So there's just so much good about this movie, except for the ending. I hate the ending. Every time this is probably my third time watching this, and every time I'm like, God bless it. Like I forget about it, and then it happens, and this is so I'm with you, Frank. Had there been a better ending, this was a 10 for me, but I give it an 8, which is still approved. Still.
As long as Dave, enjoyed it,
Well, yeah, I'm saying my 8, an 8 is still an approved score.
It's an approved score, yeah.
Yeah.
Dave?
No, John.
The best thing I thought about this movie.
No, John, it's John. I fucked it up. No, we got to go in order.
All right. Sorry, Dave. All right.
There's rules, man. There's rules.
I'm always trying to cut somebody off or forget somebody. I totally forgot about Randy that one time.
It's usually Randy.
Yeah.
You've done it a few times.
I've got it on speaker view now, so it's just completely weird to me. But anyways, John, go.
All right. So yeah, Bay of Blood. I saw it once before and I didn't remember much about it. But it's really good. Watching it this time around, I'd read more about it and how like kind of prototypical it was about the slasher place. I mean, the spear, that double spear, the famous Friday the 13th double spear is so much cooler in this one. Like see her moving them around and stuff,
Yeah, she almost still looked like she was still trying to rub one out.
Finish it off.
Like flailing.
Well,
She was
she was
around.
dying. Whatever. She was dying. Might as
No
well.
rules.
Yeah, might as well. What else you gonna do? Got this. Yeah. I'm gonna stop right there. Yeah. Oh my God. So and the famous Friday the 13th part 2 marking the wheelchair cross slice with that reverse. What are those? I don't know, those curved almost sickle knife things,
like
those
like
are
sights.
sort
No,
of, but
whatever the
not
thing
really.
is,
They're like
it's like
just hand blades. They're just like handheld cutters. I don't know what the
It's like
proper
a
name
weed
is.
trimmer.
So the little redhead girl is the same little redhead girl from Deep Red,
Oh, really?
and she's the ticket taker in Demons.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, a little bit of
How
little
about
bit of
that
trivia there.
resume?
Yes, right. But like, so basically, everyone's a bad guy in this, except for those teenagers or whatever they were. Everyone's a bad guy, and the Countess, except for the Countess. That was a really good hanging scene. I wonder if Argento was like, you know what, that hanging scene was pretty brutal, because he worked with Bava a lot. Yeah, he was like his AD or some, I don't know. He had some real good position on the crew, and he got to learn a lot from him, like working right next to him. So a lot of what Bava did, he's in God, I hope I'm not. Blood and Black Lace.
Yeah.
That one, I'm
Yep.
pretty sure that's a Bava. That was like one of those ones with the, lots of lights, colored lights and stuff. That's like Argento's thing. Well, Bava, he, learned that from Bava. So, that I love the decapitation. That was so cool. Really good. That spine and the squirt, love it. And a frequent Fulci collaborator, Dardano Sacchetti, gets a story by credit. So, and that also landed on the Video Nasty list. Did you guys know that?
Oh no.
Yeah,
Like, it makes sense.
This is a Video Nasty.
It does not seem like a 1971 film. I mean,
no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, totally. So I gave this one an 8, just because I had to watch it a few times.
What
I'm
do
not
you
gonna
What do
lie.
you think about the ending?
Oh, it's funny. I was just like,
So
it was such a,
irritating.
but you know what though? It was such an unexpected thing to happen.
Kind of still has
it's
that,
just
that,
as
that
unexpected.
same feeling you get, at least for me, the first time I watched April Fool's Day.
Yeah,
you get through
exactly.
it,
It's a big fuck you.
Yeah, it
nothing
is.
really.
It is kind of a big fuck you.
Mario
what
Bava
this-
might as well have just popped up at the end and went,
That's what. Yeah,
Right,
he just
yeah.
gave up.
yeah.
Like, I gave you gold up until the last 30
You know what
seconds
though?
of the movie.
Those people were fucking despicable too. They had to get something. They couldn't.
There's so
win.
many films
Everyone
like that,
was a
though,
damn bad
where they
guy.
just they get third act problems.
What can you do?
Oh, it all, some Giallo can drag on a little bit, and it
Oh,
did.
for sure.
But like I really love those interiors, the super wide interiors. Like they were obviously put up in a corner and put the widest angle lens possible, and just
Those zooms
it
were
was in
so
a-
fantastic too.
Yeah, and they
Yeah, the
teased,
zooms were-
they teased
and the
the
zooms
eye.
weren't cheesy.
They would zoom in on the eye, and I would keep waiting for something. You
Ah,
know how they are.
Nah,
with their
Fulci
eyes.
was the eye stuff.
Mm.
Fulci
What,
was the eye guy.
well, it's not. Well, Argento's got some too, right?
Yeah, a little bit, but
There
They
wasn't
let-
any eye
they let-
stuff in
They
this.
just kept teasing. No, they would
No, there
zoom
was
in
no
on the
eye
eye,
stuff.
but there
Zoom
was
in.
no
close-ups of the eyes, because
there
who's
was
watching
no piece of
who.
wood slowly
Mhm.
being shoved.
I thought
into
one of
the
them
eye.
popped out at one point or another. I
I
don't
don't
know.
think so.
It's been a minute since
Anyway.
I
I
watched
don't
it.
believe so. I don't believe so.
What you
either.
got, Dave?
Oh,
Yeah.
did John rate it? Did he give him a rating? Or did I miss
Yeah,
it?
I
Eight.
gave it an 8.
Eight.
It's
Oh,
an
okay.
8.
All right.
Yeah.
Dave, you're on to you now. Finally.
I just think this is a really good precursor to a lot of slasher films that we all love. It's like even that beginning sex scene where it's like love isn't love without cuddling after, and I don't know. It just felt so familiar, even though it was something that I knew came before everything I've ever seen. The wardrobe too was fantastic with the turtlenecks and the like denim jackets were
yeah.
fantastic. Like everything was fantastic, and like you have this classic slasher where all the teens are making mistakes and then they get killed after. Like that's classic horror. Like that's just what it is.
where it all came from.
Yeah, and it was really great seeing it with a different lens. Especially with the score. I love the music. I loved it. It was like that. That was probably the best part of this movie. I just felt like the score was great. And the bugs too.
Oh yeah.
When he had this room full of bugs with the gypsy, and like they had their own thing going on, and I don't know, it felt great.
Romantic.
They
yeah,
were married.
almost, yeah. Well, yeah, yeah.
They
Also,
had a
you
thing
have
going
you have,
on. A marriage.
you have so you have two different couples that are like almost against each other towards the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
I guess. But I'll give it a 7. I'd say I don't know. I've seen better horror movies, but that one was it was really good seeing like kind of a precursor of what 1971.
Mhm.
So yeah,
So let me jump in and tell you guys about this real quick, since we're talking like comparisons of like this being a precursor to slashers. If you guys haven't saw Peeping Tom,
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, that's real good.
That's such a good movie, and it's like
That's
what,
you got to check
50s
that
or
out, Dave.
60s
It's
or
so
something.
good.
I will.
Yeah, like early
Super old,
60s,
but
I believe.
it's very much a slasher. Like you get to
Mhm.
see, like that was supposedly the first slasher ever made. And it
Because I've
legit
seen
is a good
Italian
movie.
action movies, and like I've seen Italian like I've seen most of the Italian genre movies, but like not necessarily this one because it's mostly American because they do speak English. So
Mhm.
it's just
Yeah, there was no alternate
I feel like this
language.
one-
There. I don't think there is. I think
It was just
that's
made
the way
in
some of
English.
these are,
Or
they
just
don't
dubbed in
matter
English.
what.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I kind of figured.
the Blu-ray
yeah,
don't have any.
Yeah,
alternate.
I'd love to check it out.
Yeah, if there was one. I don't think so though, because like you said, it seems like they're literally saying
Yeah,
English
it would have
words,
been
so-
on either Arrow or Kino. Release,
Somewhat,
but-
yeah.